So I'm out in the front the other afternoon, just taking care of some weeds, just, cleaning up outside. And I'm watching this line of ants moving across the concrete, doing whatever ants do, hauling stuff back to their colony. And without even thinking about it, my foot just kind of drifts over and I step right through the middle of their line. And I don't think twice about it. I don't feel bad, of course. I just continued my afternoon. But funny enough, when I go back inside, I put on YouTube and I'm listening to this video, and this guy's talking about aliens and what we do if the aliens did what we do as humans. So I immediately start thinking about those ants. Not because, I stepped on ants. That's not really, anything, breaking news or anything like that. It's that it didn't register as anything at the time. And what I mean by that is that I didn't negotiate with the ants. I didn't say, "Hey, I'm pulling some weeds over here," and offered their colony a detour. I didn't even think about the fact that I had just wiped out a chunk of their whole world. To me, at that moment, their existence just didn't weigh enough to matter. And I'm not saying because of this, let's save the ants, oh, poor ants. I'm just saying that this YouTube video got my thoughts going someplace that it normally wouldn't. So let's do this. Let's flip the whole ant scenario. Let's just flip the whole thing around and imagine something shows up. Doesn't matter if it's from another planet or if it's just something on this planet that's been asleep for some time, sort of like War of the Worlds. And it's way smarter, much bigger and stronger than us, and it looks at us the exact same way I looked at those ants. Not cruel about it or anything, just simply not even thinking about it. Like, they're here and now we're here. Like, think about that. You think it would be scary? Not lasers, not spaceships, none of that Hollywood stuff. Just they arrive and move around freely, no explanation, no communication, and no attack per se. Just they're there. I honestly think that would scare the crap out of us. And on the inside, we'd be crushed. But way before any possible physical interaction ever took place. Because our whole way of living or surviving and moving through life is by measuring ourselves against everyone and everything else around us. Think about it. Our world only works if we're the smartest, the brightest, and the strongest thing in the room. So humanity as we know it, I think, would suffer an identity crisis. Not an alien invasion, but an actual crisis where we concern ourselves with pointless crap like, what about the economy? What about our stuff? Our cars, our homes, our wage slave livelihoods, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I don't buy that there would be a hopeful version of this story. The one you always see in Hollywood and in the movies. The aliens show up and suddenly humanity forgets its differences and unites as one species, rah, 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 rah. I don't think that's us. Not really. I actually think a large chunk of people would panic, and because we're so conditioned, would just want somebody, just anybody to tell them what to do, some new authority to hide behind, because a lot of people would rather feel protected than actually be free. And then I think another chunk would go the total opposite way. They dig in, get defensive, start talking about protecting what's ours before we even know if there's anything worth protecting against, and prepare for a fight. But both of those are really just the same thing, wearing different clothes. It's ego, scared of not being the main character anymore, deciding how to react before our tiny brains even catch up. I even think about the South Park episode a little, where the guys are always saying, they took our jobs. You know how they sound. I know that's a bad impression on my end. But I say that even though it wasn't an alien invasion in South Park, because I think that's exactly what we do. We wouldn't unite for humanity. We'd unite to protect our turf, our jobs, our stuff, our pecking order, even against something that showed up and never did a single hostile thing. They just arrived. We'd make it about us getting replaced before we even tried to figure out what it actually wanted. Because as humans, we don't handle not being the main character too well. We can't even agree with our own neighbors half the time. So the idea that we'd suddenly link arms the second something bigger and smarter walked in, I think we'd spend more time and energy trying to figure out how to destroy it than trying to understand it, even if doing so made no sense at all. We'd be absolutely terrified simply because of their presence. And God forbid they do communicate with us and tell us something like they would like to colonize on Earth. But that means that a lot of land is needed, even if homes are already established. So people, they got to move. And they also want to involve themselves in our government, but create their own brand new laws. So they dictate how society is run. And they need our natural resources to power their communities too. So, well, let's just say this. The moment the aliens ask for something, not take, like some other people we know of during past events, but they ask. Once they ask, it's over. I think at that point, nuclear fallout would be inevitable. And given how smart we think we are, humans would exist no more. That would be it. So what would you do if aliens did arrive? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey.